Hi, everybody. This is Dana. So, I wanted to come and discuss my thoughts on moving to North Dakota as it relates to it being a place for a fresh start. So, for those of you who don't know, I moved to North Dakota from a big city in the early spring of 2015, and I moved for a job opportunity. And since I've been here, I've actually been able to pursue my career in another area that I had training in before I moved to North Dakota, and then I switched careers, and I'm now working in the latter field. It's very rewarding, very challenging, and I am very thankful to have moved here because what I thought was going to be like my career trajectory when I first moved here ended up being an introduction into the profession that I'm in now. So it's been great. And so for me, it represented a fresh start career wise, mentally, physically, spiritually, all that, because it was a place that I had never been to. It was, I didn't know anybody. It was like in an area, a region I had never been to. And, it was just kind of like, okay, now what? But with the help of having a job to go to, I was able to, cultivate a life that, has been really good, has been pretty good. So that being said, I've come into contact with people sort of indirectly through my job, and not even just my job, but just in general, I've noticed that, like, say, news stories of people committing crime in North Dakota, and they're originally from a different state, and these are serious crimes, and I think about how my experience has been really positive, and for those who it may not be working out well for where you are, and you're looking at kind of a slower pace, a quieter life, a fresh start, I would highly suggest that you consider North Dakota as being a fresh start. So a lot of people who I've talked to when they're not originally from here, they came for a job like in the oil field, or they came for educational opportunities. So people who were given scholarships, and they, came to the state to pursue those opportunities. And, just really positive reasons to come here and to uproot their lives where they're from to come here. But unfortunately, I've noticed that, people get caught up criminal wise, they commit crimes, or they just get in trouble. And, all the progress they've made by moving here, pursuing higher education or a good career opportunity kind of goes, or potentially goes down the drain, because they bring bad habits, or that's, I don't want to say bad habits, but they maybe have a lapse in judgment when they're here. And so I know human nature, just because you pick up and move physically doesn't mean your mind has changed, or you're just going to be this whole different person. But I think I like this video to be just a reminder of those who are looking at where their life is. And I think it might be an assumption, maybe incorrect or not, but when you come to North Dakota, you're looking for a different way of life from where you're from, oftentimes. And the opportunities that you get here can help facilitate making better decisions. And so it's kind of heartbreaking when I've seen people who came on a scholarship. They came from way across the country. We have a lot of people, or a decent amount that I've met or have come in contact with, who are from like the West Coast, the South, deep South, warmer states, and they come here for career opportunities or educational opportunities, and they get caught up. And the pace is much slower in the smaller cities. And in my previous video, I did say, I did mention, how to, moving from a big city to a small town, and, what the transition is like, and how it could be smoother, than it would be if you know nothing about the state. So if you at least like look at my video and can kind of take some tips or hints on, what it's like to live here if you're from like a busier area, they're meant to be tools to help you, just start a life or have a life or continue a life that's, productive, that's, just positive. And so, what I think about just how I've seen people bring that, people say they've had criminal history from where they're from, and then they bring that criminality to the state. And it's tough because, I'm looking at, I hear people who they came from another state, they come here, they came here for a job, like they're making probably good money, or they came on a scholarship to play ball or academics, scholarship, what have you, and they get here and get caught up in like, they might catch a case for drugs or, whatever else, criminal crimes that, that there are, they commit them. And so they put their job sometimes in jeopardy. They definitely put like whatever scholarships they've gotten in jeopardy. And so, I just want this to be like a cautionary tale that when you think about coming here, when you get an opportunity, just really if you know that, and I mean it's one of those things where we have to know ourselves as individuals. So say if you got into, if you have a criminal history and you still got a job or a scholarship opportunity to come here, really take a look at your mindset and how it may need to change so you don't mess up this opportunity. As much as I'm saying, North Dakota can represent a fresh start, there's also, people who you could easily find who, are criminally minded. They have that mentality of breaking the law in whatever way, shape, or form they're choosing. And but they might be from here, or they might not have as much to lose as someone who's coming here on a scholarship or for a job prospect. And so, I just would really, encourage and caution people to, just think about like being careful about who they come here and associate with. If they're kind of like marijuana, it's still illegal in North Dakota. So if you, want to come from a state where it's legal, know that you could get a charge if you're found with it. Another thing is, let's say you do make that shift, or your mind is already like, hey, when I move here, I'm ready to be about my business. I'm ready to, focus on, doing well in my job, my career, my education. Be careful about who you invite to come here. I remember talking to someone who I believe they grew up here. They moved to the South for like maybe their teenage years, and they came back to North Dakota as an adult. And their sibling came. They brought their sibling back up here. Their sibling came to visit, and their sibling like found this drug community, the people who did drugs, and really got, I guess, messed up. And so the idea that some people who come here from your family or your circle, they might kind of bring their own issues with them. And so it's just, sometimes you gotta, cut the ties when it comes to folk who you might be, about your business, but they might not be. And they might try to jam you up, maybe intentionally or not, and, mess up what you have going here. So that being said, I just wanted to, put that out there that North Dakota is, has represented a fresh start for me. And for those who are looking to come here, it could be a fresh start for you. And it's not to assume that it's a crime, say you have a criminal history and now you come here to like forget that criminal history or move on. But I think with just anybody making that transition, depending on your familiarity with small towns, If you come from a larger city, just know that, you know, this way of life is a bit different, but it's very promising for those, you know, looking for a fresh start. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.